Hello, Bucks fans. Welcome back to Real Bucks Talk. Man, we got some news today. As you see there on the screen, Ian Rappaport reporting that reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Brown star Myles Garrett, has requested a trade. So it just brings us to this discussion, and obviously I've seen on social media and across Bucks local media and other people talk about how the Buccaneers could make a trade this offseason for a star edge rusher. And Myles Garrett obviously fits the bill. I think every team would want to have a chance at Myles Garrett. So I want to look into that and just discuss, is Myles Garrett a realistic option for this team? I think he would be the type of move that you make. It would be very similar to a Tom Brady. Now, granted, Tom Brady was a free agent and you didn't have to trade for him, but it would be up to that level of defensive talent being added to your roster. And when looking at this team, they need something like that. They need a star player to go along with Vita Vea, Kalijah Cansey, Antoine Winfield Jr., Zion McCollum, Tyke Smith, all those guys to supplement. And when looking at it, though, the costs would be very significant for Myles Garrett. It would be expensive for the Browns to even trade him just due to their cap situation. They would have to rework some contracts and do some different things to make it work for them. So it's going to be a tough trade to pull off regardless. And the Browns have already come out saying that they're not wanting to trade Garrett and not wanting to do take phone calls, but we'll see what happens. And just looking at the costs, and I agree with Josh Capo here from Pure Report. It's going to be a lot. Draft capital will probably be 2 firsts. So that is something Jason Light hasn't shown the urgency in the past to do. The biggest trades he's made is Jason Pierre Paul for a third round pick. He's traded for Gronkowski for a fourth round pick. Really, it's been later picks, not premium picks that he's traded away. So that would be tough for him to pull the trigger on. So that already puts it kind of at a lesser than 50% probably for the Bucks. Um, and then also you have to factor in the extension. So he's probably going to get, like Josh points out, probably 3 to 4 years at 120 million. Could be more than that. So his new contract is going to be pricey. Now the Bucks can make this work with their salary cap situation. That won't be an issue. And also, great point here by Carter Donick. He also talks about it's most likely going to be 2 firsts as well, and you'll probably have to add in something else to get that trade done. He mentions Detroit and also Tampa and Green Bay that make a lot of sense. So the move is set up where on Tampa's side it would be very beneficial. I think when you look at Myles Garrett, I mean the guy's just been a production machine. He's 29 years old, but again, super athletic, really just top of the line as far as edge rushers create. He can instantly create impact for the Buccaneers on that defensive side of the ball. I mean, you look at his last 4 seasons, he's had at least 14 sacks every year. Guy's super productive. He's been fairly healthy and always reliable in that sense. So that is good. And really entering the prime years of his career where, again, he's looking to win a championship and would be, just awesome to acquire for any team that is going to make this type of move. But it is definitely going to bring up interesting points as we move throughout the offseason here, as we get closer to the combine and free agency. I'm sure those discussions are going to pick up. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, there's been a lot of talk about the Buccaneers trying to, maybe this is the time where they make this type of move and get a premier pass rusher. A lot of people have talked about Max Crosby. Now, since John Spytek is there could be a connection with him and Jason Light to, talk about a deal. But I just don't think Max Crosby is going to get traded. I think they want to build around him, especially with Pete Carroll coming in and the moves that they've made, getting Chip Kelly now as their offensive coordinator. I think Max is a guy that wants to remain loyal there and see the turnaround, see what they do as far as front office moves and like adding player personnel, all that stuff. So I don't think he's on the table. But the guy who I think, other people have talked about, Pewter Report has done a great job covering this. Trey Hendrickson, I think, makes a lot of sense and could be the more realistic target. Again, at 6'4", 270 pounds, he's 30 years old, but he's been outstanding the last several years, has over 17 and a half sacks, back to back seasons, and probably would cost a little bit less. I think a second round pick probably gets the deal done, which is more in line with what Jason Light would probably want to give up. And then contract extension would probably be significant, but again, it's affordable and it doesn't cost you as much as Myles Garrett. But back to Myles Garrett, I think he would be a terrific addition, a terrific move that would be awesome to see. And again, it's something where you look at this draft class coming up, it's not a strong draft class. There's no guarantee that you get a legit pass rusher or star cornerback in the draft this year. And with adding Myles Garrett, it makes everybody on defense that much better, makes their jobs easier. I think schematically, I think it's something that Todd Bowles and Myles Garrett can adjust to and probably not have Myles Garrett drop as much as he asks his other edges. And he would understand this is a guy that you just let go attack the quarterback and you can work and build packages off of that. So, and I think the same goes for Trey Hendrickson. But this, I mean, just this makes the offseason that much more exciting, and it should be really fun to see if the Buccaneers get involved in these talks. But man, what a joy it would be to have someone like Myles Garrett. I mean, you see him here, his ability to just create havoc, create turnovers, to create stops, to force plays where he's either forcing the quarterback to fumble or maybe throw an interception. The difference that he can cause and having a balanced team, to be a part of a balanced team like the Bucs where their offense can be good enough and help the wins increase because you have a guy like Myles Garrett who can be that instant impact player on defense to shut down teams passing attacks and not and allow the Bucs to be more effective on that side of the ball, especially on third downs where they've struggled, especially in the red zone, and also giving up less as far as explosive plays down the field. That would be just a huge addition. And again, it's not like he's a one trick pony. Like, this guy plays the run very well. He knows how to get after the quarterback. He's basically a complete player. But again, there's a lot of factors that go into a move like this, and it's going to be tough for Cleveland to pull it off just because of their cap situation, like I talked about earlier. So it's going to be, just something to monitor. But I do feel like the Buccaneers could make a move for a pass rusher this offseason. A lot of things line up where maybe a Trey Hendrickson is that guy, but we'll see. Obviously, I think Myles Garrett would be the home run. He would be kind of like that Tom Brady-esque move, but on defense. And same could be said for the other two guys as well. Um, so we will see. It will be interesting to see what comes of this. But I just wanted to get, our thoughts out there and appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below your thoughts. Is this the time for the Buccaneers to make a trade for a star pass rusher? Could it be Myles Garrett? Could it be Trey Hendrickson? Who do you guys think the Buccaneers should go after if they were going to trade for someone? Let us know. And with that said, until the next one.